The 76th Emmy Awards, hosted by father-son duo Eugene and Dan Levy, had quite a few memorable moments, big winners, and bored stars. Joining us to chat about all things Emmys is the Post's entertainment critic, Johnny Oleksinski. Now, let's get into it all. Where shall we start?
Well, first there was the hosts. With every Emmy Awards, with every Oscars, Golden Globes, we go into it with a little fear, some trepidation. Are they going to bore us to tears? Remember Joe Coy, that was the biggest story of the Golden Globes,
right.
That he kind of, his career imploded on that night. Or Jimmy Kimmel kind of being So this time we had two really lovable people in Eugene and Dan Levy, father and son, the first father and son duo to ever do it from the show Schitt's Creek. So they go in with us, they're not controversial, we like them, they have a good sense of humor. I think they did a pretty good job. They had some zingers. I love this one, they made fun of the bear. Not being a comedy. And I remember Eugene Levy is very Canadian. He says, well, I know a lot of you are expecting me to make a joke about the bear not being a comedy, but in the spirit of the bear, we will not be making any jokes. And it killed. It killed. So they did the job. They completed the assignment.
I mean, they did a very amazing job. Also, they talked about Selena Gomez, Steve Martin, and Martin Short. They joked about a cat lady.
Yeah. So, and some people probably are really, miffed about this, that they referenced J.D. Vance's childless cat lady's remark.
Right.
And Selena Gomez looked at Martin Short and Steve Martin and said, it's an honor to be working with these two people that are on the verge of becoming childless cat ladies, which did really well. But for the most part, they were apolitical. And with every award show, I always find that there is a group of presenters or a presenter who you wish was the actual host. And
who would you have wished?
Well, these three were so funny. Steve Martin looked at Martin Short and he said, it's an honor to be presenting with someone who looks like a retired female tennis player. And it was just every joke killed. They had amazing chemistry. So they were the highlight. Too bad it came within the first 10 minutes.
Right, right. Well, we got to get into all of the big wins. Shogun dominated with 18. Best drama.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
Well, what's weird is I got a lot of texts from people saying, what is Shogun? We're coming off of these huge shows like Game of Thrones and Succession, or going back Mad Men. Everyone best drama used to sort of be the national talker. Shogun is new for lots of people. It's on FX. Much of it's in Japanese. It's a historical epic. It's very, very good, and maybe this will prod people to watch it. But when Hiroyuki Sanada won Best Actor and Anna Sawai won Best Actress. These are names that many people watching the Emmys probably never heard before.
Right.
Even though I believe, at least at the Creative Arts Emmys, it won 14 last week and then added 4 last night, which I believe is an Emmys record.
That's incredible.
For a show
right.
that a lot of people don't know about.
That's absolutely incredible. I mean, and then moving on, we've got The Bear, which walked away with 11 wins. Which people are very excited about.
But not the big one.
Oh.
You could say, because that's sort of the way, award shows work, that there's it snowballs and it snowballs. And I thought, the moment I thought that The Bear would take home a second Emmy for Best Comedy was when Liza Colón-Zayas won Best Supporting Actress. She beat Meryl Streep, and she beat Hannah Einbinder from Hacks. And she even said, she went on stage and she said, I didn't prepare a speech. And obviously gave a very charming speech. But no, The Bear, it won for Jeremy Allen White and Eben Moss-Bachrach, but once they got to Best Comedy, that very surprisingly went to Hacks.
Right.
A great show with Gene Smart on Max.
What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I personally love Hacks. And the thing about The Bear is, as technically fantastic and well put together as it is, it's not very funny. And it is a Best Comedy. I want some laughs, I want some smiles. It's light. Hacks is really funny. Hannah Einbinder especially, who plays the assistant or former assistant to a big Vegas stand-up comedian played by Gene Smart. She has great comedic timing. So I was glad to see the Emmys kind of trying to course correct and say, we're going to give Best Comedy to groundbreaking, a comedy.
Now, I know you were talking Baby Reindeer before. They walked away with 4 wins. They're on Netflix. Thoughts on that?
Well, that was, when you look back on a strange year in TV that was hampered by strikes and things. Baby Reindeer, just like Squid Game and other big Netflix hits, came out of nowhere. And then everybody was binge watching it and obsessively talking about it and doing that Scottish accent. it was a water cooler show, and we don't get water cooler shows very much. So even if you thought that one of the other nominees was more worthy of the award, I think the Emmys wanted to give it to the most popular show in America, the biggest talker anywhere. And it was controversial. They gave some charming speeches. Richard Gadd, who starred and created it, he made a point that he's not really in the entertainment community at all. But he told people, when you're feeling down and feeling low, just keep going, keep persevering. And I thought that was a good message.
And we got to talk about Jelly Roll's performance.
So, I cover TV, I cover movies, I cover theater. This is my first time meeting Mr. Roll.
Oh,
okay. I did not know Jelly Roll.
Mr. Roll, I love it.
It was very odd for a somber in memoriam, celebrating the likes of Gina Rowlands and Donald Sutherland to begin with, and now Jelly Roll. And he walked on and he sang I Am Not Okay, which was an odd song, fine song. But when you begin it with Jelly Roll, I couldn't get over it. The in memoriam itself was fine. People are focusing on who was left out. A big one was Chita Rivera. Ooh. Who, of course, she's known mostly for stage and screen, but we can't honor someone like that enough.
Right, understood. I mean, it's sad too when they do leave somebody out, and it seems to always happen in a lot of award shows.
Yeah, you'd think there'd be a committee back there, making sure everyone's cousin's in it.
Double checking, triple checking, everything. Now, a lot of the presenters seem to have themes. Happy Days, the West Wing reunions. What did you think about these?
Well, in January, because remember, we got 2 Emmy Awards this year because they were delayed due to the strike. So in January, they started this, and it was really great. They did, remember, Ally McBeal?
Yep.
And a bunch of other, All in the Family. Mm-hmm. And they made you feel good. They made you feel nostalgic. They made you remember when TV was really good. They tried to repeat that this time, but it was a little awkward. So these themes were, say, like TV moms, TV dads, coaches, lawyers, and really, no offense to all these major actors, but to me the only star was Viola Davis in the lawyers category from How to Get Away with Murder. Mm-hmm. I kept thinking, couldn't you find some better TV moms and better TV dads? And all of them, I wrote this, and all of them seemed like they were being held hostage by the Emmys producers. Mm. None of them were all that happy to be there. Then we got the actual just normal show reunions, and those were of happy days. There was Ron Howard and Henry Winkler, who sort of were a little weird too. And then the West Wing was a somber request that people register to vote. And that's how it ended. Mm-hmm. And you thought it was an appropriate way to end a kind of lackluster ceremony.
But one thing that does stand out to a lot of us is the camera cutting away to Meryl Streep and Martin Short.
America's favorite, maybe not
couple,
real
but not sure
couple.
Yet. Right.
They're funny. They deny it, and they deny it, and they deny it, and then they show up together and laugh. And if we hired a body language expert,
I was about to say, it's the body
think
language.
They might confirm to us that something is going on there. But as of right now, the official word is that they are not dating, even though we long to see them at every event being happy and famous.
And if they're happy, then of course we're happy. And if you want any more on the Emmys, head over to NewYorkPost.com.